Hey everyone, I'm recording this in April of 2020, and if you're watching it anytime soon, you're probably stuck at home. And I think this is a good time to be making investments to yourself. What really disappoints me when I go to the grocery store, and I have to go often because I don't have a whole lot of space in my refrigerator, is when I see people not making good use of the couple of weeks that they don't have workplace stresses, or obviously there's a lot going on, don't get me wrong there, but they have a lot of free space to not worry about making some changes to their lifestyle. So I see people at the grocery store getting their favorite junk foods and cigarettes and alcohol, and sometimes getting a lot of cigarettes at one time. And I've never smoked, but I can imagine if you buy 20 packs at once, you're going to smoke a whole lot faster than if you buy a pack or two packs at a time. Just from my own experience with other bad habits that I've indulged in. I know buying in bulk, you have good intentions, right? I'm going to be eating junk anyway. I'll buy it in bulk because it's on sale. It never turns that way. And I can just sense that. I've never smoked, so if I'm wrong about that, leave a comment about that. But the nice thing about making these changes is that they're cumulative. Sometimes you make an improvement to your life, and let's say you're 20 years old and you quit drinking soda. Well, when you quit drinking soda, a lot of times you want other things to go as well because you feel your taste buds work a whole lot better, right? Next thing you know, you're reading food ingredients and you learn about the chemistry of food and you start to research about it. And now I almost get sick when I look at food ingredients and I see somebody I care eating things that I know what it's doing to their bodies, and I can just imagine what their bodies are, how their bodies are screaming inside. But to give you an idea of the exponential growth, a couple weeks ago I shot a video about what would happen if you had an atom of gold and it doubled even just once a day. Before long, you have this big. Before long, it turns into a black hole and swallows you alive. Is what happens. Go watch that video. Actually, I didn't go all the way out to the black hole. I went to a giant planet, but a few more doubles and you're there. So within a year, an atom can literally become a black hole. But so here's the thing. This is a favorite math problem I love to give. As a math teacher, I love this problem. So most people right now in the United States, life expectancy is about 78, right? So imagine you inherit some money when you're 25 years old, and you get to invest that money, and you need to generate some amount before you're 65 when you retire, right? How much money would you have to inherit in order to have a retirement fund by the time you're 65? It's a good amount, right? Imagine that your investments grow on average, let's say 5% above inflation, right? And you want to have $1 million in inflation adjusted terms, right? How much would you need? Well, if you were making 1.05, right, 5% return, and you're accumulating that over 40 years, this is how much your money would multiply by, right? So you need to divide that into a million, right? So the reciprocal of that times a million. So most people have okay, so it's over $100,000. That's a pretty decent sized inheritance, right? Not impossible, but most people don't have the good fortune to do that. What most people do have the good fortune of doing is two different things, right? The number one advice we often hear in any sort of personal finance of discussion is that you want to start your investments early, right? I think I saw a chart one time. I forget what show, it was a personal finance show. It was talking about how you had two twin brothers. One of them invested when he was 18 and stopped when he was 25. The other twin started at 25 and invested for the rest of his life. And the guy who started at 18 wins, right? That's good. The problem is that they miss half the lesson. The other half of the lesson is you want to age later, right? I hate how nobody likes it's personally for a lot of people it's unpopular to say that. I guess not everybody is born with the good genetics, but you know what? I think environment plays a bigger role. Just look at well, look at different geographical areas, how much life expectancy can differ, and we're all one big family, right? 7.8 billion of us, we're one big family. And so my favorite math problem to ponder, obviously this is science, getting into science fiction now. If you live to be 1,000 years old, how much money do you have to set aside today before you have, in order to have $1 million when you're 1,000 years old? I'll let you guess that. Don't use a calculator yet, because a lot of people, when I ask people to guess this, they're always surprised at the answer. Let's give it a try. The same 1.05 return to the power of 1,000. This is how much your money will multiply by in 1,000 years. So this is you obviously have to quit drinking the soda. You can't be hoarding 20 packs of cigarettes. You can never, even if you see somebody smoking, you got to keep your social distance away from them, right? Even after all this is over, right? There's a lot of things you got to do in order to get to 1,000, right? But let's do some science fiction for now. 1.05 to the power of 1,000. And you could put aside, let's see, your money's multiplying by what? Thousands, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, quintillion, 1 quintillion times. I'll let you figure out how much gold or silver if you were to divide 1 million into that is. It's probably not even a macroscopic amount. You probably couldn't see it without a microscope. But that's 1,000 years. Okay, nobody's gonna live 1,000 years. We'll concede that. What if you only live to be? Go pick up your Bible and see how long they lived. Well, it's about 1,000, right? What if you only live twice as long as your average Joe, to be 160? Well, before I hit enter, let's take a guess. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. 2,000 times. Okay, so put aside your next paycheck. Wait 160 years, you'll get there. You'll get to 1 million. But the point I'm trying to make is that every time you pick up a bad habit, right, that pack of cigarettes isn't just costing you what you pay for it and your healthcare costs and the, well, let's count the ways the pack of cigarettes is costing you. It's costing you here in Washington, it's $7, $8, $9 a pack, right? I don't even know because I don't even look at it. And let's see. Not only are you spending that $7 or $8, but you're giving up all the return that $7 or $8 is going to generate you, right? You got healthcare costs. You got well, especially if you live in the Seattle area, probably a lot of discrimination, right? Where I work, nobody smokes, right? I don't know if they would have a bias against somebody smoking. I've certainly been in meetings where you couldn't get out of the building for 2-3 hours, and if you smoke, that would definitely, you probably wouldn't even want that job in the first place, right? Not to mention that they might have a bias against you, right? That's a cost right there, right? And then plus, your money has less time to grow. If you die before getting Social Security, that's another cost, although, you know, most people probably aren't going to see very much from Social Security as it is, but you're going to see even less, right? And if you're cutting off 20, 30, 40 years of your life, right? Obviously, yeah, I know it's a pipe dream to live to 160, but maybe not so, right? A couple weeks ago, before all the social distancing, right, I used to love to do some of my coding in the downtown Bellevue library, and sometimes I get a girl who's interested in me, and she sits down to talk to me, and nobody thinks that anything's amiss, and then I come to discover she's only like 18 or 19 years old, right? So that means that my money is literally, you know, if that's a good indicator of how old I really am, my money's growing an extra 14 years, right? So we take 1.05 to the power of 14. That means every dollar I have has literally doubled, right? Just from my not smoking and eating a lot of baking chocolate, and earlier this year I did a 48-hour fast, right? That's the opportunity cost of all those problems, right? That your money has literally halved, right? And that's for your average Joe my age, right? There are a lot of people who are my age who look like they could be collecting Social Security as it is, right? Anyway, some food for thought that your bad habits are costing you a heck of a lot more than you think they are.